From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we are back, starting another weekend, the last week of not the last week, the last couple days of October. Then we're into November. Tomorrow is Halloween. So I hope everyone is ready to get their Halloween on, whether you wear a costume or have kids. It's going to be a lot of fun. I spent the whole weekend doing Halloween stuff and with my kids. So yeah, we carved some pumpkins and it was really cool. I am joined by my co-host, Flying Rich.
Grumpy!
When are you ever going to get your soundboard hooked up?
When I'm done cleaning my office, because I found it again.
Okay, well, that's probably not going to happen. So let's go ahead and bring on our guest. He is known as Fit and Fire from YouTube. What is up? Do you want to be called Fit? Do you want to be called Fire? Do you want to be called, what do you want to be called?
You could just say, oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yeah, some people don't like to be referred to by their YouTube name, by their real names.
And then Crump has Tourette's and then just says their real name when they tell him not to use their...
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Well, nobody cared who I was until I took the mask off, and then it doesn't matter anymore because I'm on several watch lists at this point. So well, who cares?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
It's actually 100% true on that comment. Is I very embarrassingly back in 2017, before I even got onto YouTube and started doing my thing, I actually went through a TSA security checkpoint at a airport with a loaded magazine in my carry-on by accident, and that was kind of an ordeal. So interesting. This is here's the efficiency of government bureaucracy, if I could even say the word correctly. So that happened in 2017. Went through the whole situation, explained my situation. They brought the airport police over. They took a statement. He's like, "Look, man, I'm not gonna cite you or anything. Just I can tell that it was an honest mistake. Just if you want your magazine back, you'll have to come and get it from the police station next week." And I was like, "You can have it. I don't even care." Got into the plane, went wherever, came back. I was told by the police officer, "Don't be surprised if you get a letter in the mail from the TSA asking for some money. They're going to fine you." And I was like, okay. Went on my trip, came home, didn't hear anything. Month goes by, didn't hear anything. A year goes by, didn't hear anything. 4 years later, so that happened in 2017. In 2021, I get a letter in the mail from the TSA saying, "Hey, so you did this thing, and you can't be a part of TSA pre-check anymore. So thanks." And that was the end of it. I was like, it took you guys 4 years to get through this.
Hey, they're TSA.
Yeah.
All right. So I was doing consulting, and I was flying out, like Sunday in the wee hours of the morning or sometime Monday morning, flying back Thursday night. So I was, 2 flights a week for a number of years. And I had 2 gigs in St. Louis back to back. And the TSA guy, and honest to God, I want to get like a black dildo about this big and put it in my carry-on. Because so now the company I worked for, they pay for no checked bags. So I had to fit a week's worth of, collared shirts and slacks in a carry-on, and along with like my tech backpack, laptop, chargers, this, that. And so it's like tight. I don't want to say it would explode if you unzipped it, but it.
Yeah.
So the guy like starts rooting through it, pulling everything out, and then like he couldn't find anything, and then walks away. I'm like, put it back. He's like, no, you have to. I'm like, no, you took it apart. You put it back. I'm like, this is only a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh, look, there's Bin Laden. You better go after him. Make sure you get him. I'm like, you. Yeah, don't get me going on these guys. It's like they were delivering pizza a week ago. It's.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah, I'm not going to get started. So.
Yeah, at least they haven't advanced to ATF and FBI levels that they can only solve crimes that they commit themselves or set up themselves.
100%.
Hey man, they don't actually solve a lot of those crimes. I mean, well, look at the what of it the look how they couldn't solve who had the drugs in the White House.
Exactly.
The service.
Exactly.
The most surveilled building in the world.
Well, come on. I mean, let's be frankly honest with you. If we're being on the level, no jokes, that is a complete cover up. Like you said, it's the most surveilled building in the world. They know exactly who it is. They've probably got fingerprints all over that type of stuff, and they can't release that information because if they do, then it gives credence to all the other shenanigans going on.
Ray Charles seeing iDog could solve that case.
You mean Hunter Biden?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy.
So meanwhile, they're going to throw Trump in jail for life and take all of his property because he overvalued Mar-a-Lago, and they're saying, oh, it was only worth like 2 or 3 million. Meanwhile, you can look at Zillow, and properties half the size, not even positioned like on the same street, with both what is it? You got oceanfront and you have intercoastal frontage. Is like two to three times as much as what New York is saying he overvalued his It's like, you're kidding me. And that's one of those things. If Nancy Pelosi tripled the value of a property to get a loan on it and paid it back, there was no victim of the crime. There were no fines, late fees. She didn't take money from the bank. I could care less.
But Nancy Pelosi has been in office, was in office for how many decades, and how?
No, she still is. She's not the one that died.
No,
well, unless there's. Do you know something we don't?
No, she didn't die. Nancy Pelosi, she retired. So I think you're thinking of who died was
Feinstein.
Feinstein.
I'm making a Feinstein joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I don't even know, man. So tell everyone who you are, by the way.
Now that we're 10 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, guys, how is everything doing? You can find me on YouTube as Fit and Fire. I am a Army vet of 11 years active duty, spent 2 years in active duty, transitioning from enlisted to officer. So 13 years collectively in the system. Once I got out in 2013, I was kind of kicked around to try to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and got further and further into personal defense type of stuff, concealed carry, and had a lot to say about it, very opinionated. And so a buddy of mine said, hey, you should start a YouTube channel. And so I put one together in 2017 and have been doing that ever since. Really big into hitting the gym as much as I possibly can. And just trying to cause a ruckus as much as I possibly can on social media. Um, Interesting side note, you guys might be, well, from a public standpoint, I've done some things on social medias and stuff like that, but starting November 1st, I'm launching a podcast. It is called Live, Laugh, LARP, and it's going to be basically the background information for all of the videos that I do with my cameraman, Hefe. We're just going to sit down and we're just going to hash out all the different things that all the tism rants that we have while we're at the range. We're like, this is some really good material. We should put this into a podcast. And so we're going to have hour-long segments twice a month talking about a variety of different things and trying to have fun along the way. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And thanks for having me on.
No, well, thanks for coming. Dude, were you an Iraq veteran?
Oh, could not make it this year. Once again, it seems that every single year that Iraq veteran comes up is the perfect time for life to go sideways. So unfortunately, I had some family things to take care of and had luckily get a refund on my air flight.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, I've learned from SHOT Show a couple of years ago that you insure your flights to all of these types of things so that if something comes up, you can at least get your money back on your flight. So
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I got COVID when I was leaving for SHOT, and I tried to get my money back. And I was like, I have COVID. Here's the test. And they're like, well, the doctor didn't say that you couldn't fly.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have insurance?
Yeah, I had insurance. And they said, well, you didn't buy the any reason insurance. You bought for the medical insurance. I was like, but I had COVID. They're like, well, the doctor didn't state that you couldn't fly.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I have a phone call I have to take real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. It'd just be a second. I'm sorry.
Right. No problem. No problem.
So, John, there might be a doctor in your family that could write you a note.
Yeah, but I was just it was too late. They didn't get back to me until they said it, and it's expired, and it took you too long.
Oh shoot! See, I try to fly Southwest wherever I go because one, I have a Southwest card, and two, they just have like the cheapest ticket you can get on Southwest. They'll just give you a credit. So
Yeah,
you don't make it, boom, you cancel. They'll give you a credit. Southwest, like people bitch about Southwest because you don't get assigned seating. I love Southwest. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know. I would prefer than assigned seating.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's my, I guess my autism or whatever bugs me. Assigned seating.
Uh-oh. I don't know what this means, Christy. She's a member of a special club on Frontier. I think that goes along with Friends Don't Let Friends Fly Lawn Furniture and Friends Don't Let Friends Fly Frontier.
Interesting. Got a German comment here.
All right. So Bob wants a mic with a hardware mute button. I don't know.
I have a hardware mute button right here.
I mean, you got a audio panel with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I use my cell phone, so the hardware mute button is pulling the cord out for the microphone. Then it would just go to the phone mic.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Work never ends sometimes, especially on Monday.
Then it would just go to the phone mic. What is that paragraph in German on the
especially
comment?
on Monday?
I can read it if you want. It's spam.
Paragraph in German. Oh, it is.
Yeah, I can read it if you want. It's just spam, basically.
Well, ich habe Ihr Profil gesehen und Gast DCS und my name is Claude Josette Delache. I don't got the other one. Wow.
Come on,
All
man.
right.
Come on,
That's
go
about
on,
as good
keep
as
on
it
going,
goes for me.
keep on going, keep on going. Rich, come on.
I don't know. There's too many umlauts in that. I just
I'd
I would have to
say,
skip.
okay, okay. Basically, he's saying that he saw the profile. He his name. He is from France, or his family is from France, and he's gonna die because he has some incurable throat cancer,
Oh,
and he has 50,000 euros that he wants to donate to someone who he trusts to handle it. Honestly. He owns an import company that specializes in cars. And I guess it's her.
So he's not a Nigerian prince. So
It's
this has
her.
got to be legit.
Her husband died in a car accident, and they don't have any kids.
just so you know, that's 500,000 euro.
Because
Can I buy dinner with that? Is that enough for dinner?
It is actually, yeah. In Germany, or
Deutschland
or Nigeria, he must be a Nigerian prince. But in Germany, instead of a comma for thousands,
Oh,
or
right,
millions,
you're right.
they use dots, and then the comma is the decimal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
here's the interesting thing. I don't think that it's a German native speaker, because part of it, he says that, because there was no disease in my time, so there was no parking.
Parking?
Yes.
Damn.
So I have no idea what the hell is that supposed to mean.
In Europe, parking is pretty hard because the streets are narrow.
they don't. It's bad German. So they don't know anyone.
Is there any other kind of German, John?
No, they don't know anyone. Oh, they actually. She says that she does not want to know anyone. No. Anymore. And if we want the inheritance, that we can contact her on what app.
So
they kind of screwed up the German a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it was.
You think it was Google Translate?
Maybe.
Or they did voice to text and their kids were talking in the background?
Unless they, I have no idea what the parking thing is supposed to be. I think they meant that they don't have any place to, give the money to or whatever.
Oh, okay. To park the money. All right. Yeah, like in an offshore account in the Cayman
but they use parking, for parking, like a car.
Yes.
And if we want it, all we got to do is call and ask for it, which we should do.
Yes.
I see that Christine there has jumped in, sidetracking the conversation here, and says, asking if I run Spartan races. She recognizes the jacket in my profile. Yes, that I have ran a trifecta in 2016. So a trifecta is running the 3 different races, which is 4 to 6 miles, 8 to 10 miles, and then 12 plus miles through obstacles and everything. It's a lot of fun. I did do that in 2016. And if you guys are on the fence about doing it, I think you guys would have a lot of fun. Even if you walk the entire thing, it's a lot of fun to do. So,
no, I don't want to run to the mailbox. Actually, I hate to say it, I've got so much lower back pain, and if I lift this arm higher than this, I've so cut down my workout because of what pain. Literally at Iraq Veteran, I reached behind like that to grab something, and then it was a bag of chips in the car, and I was crying. Joe, who's in the chat, was in the car with me. I was literally freaking crying because I both my shoulders are fucked.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this question: ammo. let's get on to ammo.
Yeah, let's talk about ammo. Ammo's good for your pew-pews, right?
So you're talking about like
This is all I can afford.
the Lake City stuff.
Yeah, so this is a little bit late coming. We've seen a lot of things going on in the last 2 weeks about what's going on with Lake City, what's going on with the sale of Vista Group, and a lot of people concerned about supplies on the shelves and so on and so forth. And let me tell you, um, I'm very concerned about the sourcing of all of this information. One of my dearest, best friends in the whole wide world works at Lake City, and I have pinged him every other day since the video broke on Guns and Gadgets. Now, I love Jared. I think that he's doing a bang up job, but unfortunately, I think that he relied too heavily on information coming from X or Twitter, because the information that we are seeing is a screenshot of an email that's saying, "Hey, my order was canceled." And because of that, they're withholding orders from distributors and so on and so forth. But talking with my best friend who works at Lake City and is not just a guy down on the floor with the machines, he's actually behind kind of a little bit higher up than what a floor person would be. He is stating that no, we don't know anything about orders being canceled. We are shoveling stuff out the door as fast as we possibly can. Our commercial market is about 20% of what they normally do within Lake City, and the money that they make off of the commercial sales is what maintains the machines within the plant. So if they just
So in other
say,
words, they need the commercial sales.
correct, that is 100% correct. Now, I sent him the screenshot of the email, and he's like, "Yeah, man, this doesn't tell me anything. This could have been like photoshopped. This is also not saying that you can't buy ammo. It's just that the contract that you were under is no longer valid. So you're going to have to purchase it in a different manner." Is my understanding of how it goes. So I don't think that there is any validity to the fact that Lake City is just not going to sell any more commercial. That's just not their thing. Nor can the DoD come in and say, you can't do that. Because if that's the case, then that means that Winchester then has to renegotiate the contract with the federal government, which takes months to do, right?
Yeah.
And if they're going to,
I thought Winchester or the federal government said you can't do commercial sales, but they have to purchase it themselves.
I can't speak on that part. Yeah,
Because
that part.
I did some research into it, and that's what I was told.
So
For the newest thing for this most recent.
They have to guarantee if they decide, hey, the 20% that you're selling to commercial, they have to guarantee the price. So it wouldn't be under a new contract because they can go in there and but the government can buy it themselves.
Okay.
The 20% is like a stopgap in case something goes off.
That very well could be. It could be used in a number of different aspects, but just from the information that I've seen, what my partner, my guy, my friend, whatever you want to say, is saying is the reason for this situation and why these not civilian but commercial programs is what I'm trying to get at. These commercial programs that they once had that have now been canceled, that may be because they are going through an inventory. We're just past the fiscal year. They need to figure out what they have in their warehouses. We're getting into the latter part of the year with Black Friday and sales and everything else. It's a big time for the gun industry to make a lot of money. So doing inventory right now to prepare for the buying season for the holidays makes sense to me as well. That
All right.
doesn't mean that
So
that's true.
Jared did a video that says the ammo employee comes forward, companies withholding stockpiles.
That is for Remington and the Vista Group stuff, and that even makes me a little skeptical as well, because here's the reason
Mhm.
why. They're saying that they're going to withhold ammo until next year, and next year then they're able to mark up the prices a little bit. Number one, they can't do that. That's fraud, right? That is
Yeah, only
that
De Beers can do stuff like that.
yeah, right. Number two is, if they're going to do that to make more money next year by hiking up the prices and withholding this, so there's a demand, more of a demand, that's not going to work out so well, because all of the inventory that they have right now, they're going to have to pay taxes on at the end of the year. So the money that they would make for all of that inventory that they have right now that they're withholding is going to end up being a wash. So strategically, it makes no sense for them to withhold it. If they have it, then they should release
Yeah.
it. Now, that's not
Yeah, I
necessarily.
didn't watch the video, but I remember seeing the title come
Mhm.
across.
Yeah. Now, he says that he has a verified source within Vista Group's ammunition plants, so Remington and so on and so forth, that has seen trailer truck full of ammunition that is just sitting, waiting to be picked up and moved, and they've been sitting there for quite some time. Um, who knows what that could be? I mean, transportation. I used to work in logistics, uh, and transportation since COVID has been horrendous. Trying to get a trucker to come in and pick up anything right now is virtually impossible, without already set up routes, or already set up contracts with carriers and stuff like that. My day job, we have those. So we know every single day we're going to have these many trucks come in and pick up and move out. So
Mhm.
we have that already set. But when it comes to other companies, I don't know what their logistics situation is like. So
Mm.
I am very skeptical about the reasons why we're starting to see a diminished supply at the stores. I think that it could be a lot of other reasons.
Well,
So
are we really seeing a diminished supply at stores, or just people buying it at a higher rate right now because
I think
they think that it is? Because one of the things I noticed is a lot of people say, like, you know, like 9mm is not available anywhere, and I really haven't had an issue getting a lot of the stuff.
not me either. I've been able to get all the 9mm that I want, but I will say my local big box store, Academy Sports, last week their entire shelf was empty of 223 5.56, with the exception of kind of the specialty rounds like the varmint, um, 40 grain 223, or the deer season X or whatever it is. Some of those were kind of sprinkled on the shelf, but like standard M193 or M855, or just regular brass 223, all of that was gone. Now, today I went back, and there is some stock there on the shelf for just standard 223 5.56, but I have noticed a dip, and I think it has to do with, a couple of different things. Number one is people saw all of this stuff on YouTube about, no more rifle ammunition. My local gun shop, American Cash Exchange. Love those guys. I was in there talking with them, and sure enough, dude comes walking in the door, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys have a box of 223 or 5.56? I'd like to buy case, and they're like, yeah, we have one case left, and they're like, okay, I'll buy it right now. I want to make sure that I have it before everything goes crazy. I hear things are going crazy. So we do see locally here in Kansas, we do see a bit of a rush on buying this stuff. And I think a lot of that has to do with people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube doing videos saying, well, if you don't have it, you better go buy some extra, um, don't panic buy, but if you're at the store, you might buy a little bit more. And I'm like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, I think a little scare kind of lightened the inventory on the shelves, but basically online, I haven't been tracking, median 9mm pricing or anything like that. But I haven't bought in a while, and all right, so I'll admit to it. I'm a dirty civilian. I picked up 1,000 of 9, 1,000 of 10, 1,000 of 45, and some 1,000 of 855, 500 of 5.7 recently, just because I'm like, fuck, I need ammo. I've been shooting, I have been buying, and I used to buy, like 1,000 rounds of 9mm a month when I was like actively, pre-pandemic and all that bit. I'd be actively out there shooting.
I ordered all my ammo before the ammo, like the day, like before the screenshot hit and everything. I bought everything that morning, not knowing that everything was
right. I kind of did the same thing,
but I was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, the biggest thing that I get really irritated about is what we see right now and what we saw in 2020. All these people running out and buying up all the ammunition that they can, just to make sure that they have it. Look, man, y'all should have this already, right?
No, I do.
And you guys, obviously you guys do. I get that. But, this is something that I harp to people all the time. If you don't have it now, you are already way behind the power curve. You should be replenishing the couple hundred rounds that you just went and shot at the range to practice with your firearm, because we know that most people are only going to the range, not us, right? Probably not a lot of people in the chat, but the average person, right? I can tell you, because my girlfriend this year, she's been to the range twice and she's probably shot 200 rounds. And that's partly my fault. It's partly her fault for not, interjecting herself in my range trips. But let me tell you, I just really feel adamant that if you don't have your stocks now, then stop screwing over everybody else. That's just really bugs the heck out of me. Now, if you're just getting into firearms, that's a completely different story. But the people who, have their AR-15 or AK-47 and they've got their $4,000 worth of night vision and all this stuff, and then they turn around and look and they're like, oh, I don't have any ammo, I better go out and buy 2,000 rounds because now there's a shortage and I need to get mine. I'm like, come on, guy, that's what really irritates me. I don't know if I'm just talking in circles, but
no, I try to keep a few thousand rounds of each caliber I shoot.
Yeah. So, and that's actually a good question, is what is the right amount of ammo to have? I had someone DM me that question on Instagram, and I said, my opinion, this is just my opinion, you should have 1,000 rounds of whatever rifle you choose, whether it be an AR or an AK or a bullpup or whatever it is, whatever caliber that you're going to be shooting, you should have 1,000 rounds of that. You should have 1,000 rounds of whatever fire or pistol that you're going to be shooting. And you should have at least 500 shells of shotgun if you have a shotgun. If you got those 3 types of ammunition, those are the quantities that should be the bare minimum that you have. And once you have that, then you maybe want to plus up a little bit more for the times you go to the range, so you're not dipping into your supply, or you replenish each time you go to the range. One of those two. That's my opinion.
Well, what I do is I keep like a couple thousand rounds of each, and that is like, I treat that as 0. So if I get down to that, I'm at 0.
That's good. That's a good point. Yep.
So
Yeah, I have like my end of the world ammo. So it's like I got the spam cans of steel case that I'm not gonna break into. That's and like you said, that's kind of my zero.
Mhm.
That but yeah, I personally because I have so many calibers. I don't know if I got the note now. I don't have it marked on my board here. But personally, I believe in having like 1,000 of each caliber. But I have so many different having 5.7. All right, I have less than 1,000 rounds of 5.7 kicking around. But common calibers like 9 mil, 45, 5.56. Yeah, I got a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And going back to the ammo shortage dust up, I'm just remembering that the screenshot that I had of that email, it did not have any to or from addresses within that screenshot. Now I'm sure that someone's like, "Oh, I got to protect my email address so I don't get spammed." You can redact that, but it doesn't show who that email is actually from. So,
I will say that other people did get a very similar email.
okay.
But
Okay.
I mean, but I mean, like I said, I don't know what the situation is, or maybe it might be, like the contract just ended and they were on the same contract.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
see, so I work at my day job. I used to be in logistics. I'm now in pricing. My job is to maintain or create pricing for the products that my company makes. And we have certain programs that we offer to our dealers. So I work for a manufacturer, and then down one step below us is our dealers. So think Ford Auto Plant versus Ford car dealer down the road from where you guys live, right? We offer certain programs to these dealers that say, hey, we're already going to give you a 10% or 28% discount on the item that we're going to sell to you. So you can mark it up a little bit and make some money too. But if you buy a certain number of these items, then we'll give you an additional 10% discount on top of that. That is called a focused program. That focused program is only in effect for a certain period of time. So if this was a situation where they were providing an additional discount to distributors or something to get them to buy more of a certain stock of ammo, that very well could have been the case as well. They canceled the program saying, we're just not making any money. I don't know if you've seen it on your guys' side, but from my understanding, this year has been extremely flat or maybe even below expectation as far as sales goes.
it's been
So
below. It's been
it has,
below. I know
yeah,
that. And I've seen the statistics, internal statistics from a bunch of different companies. It's
good.
It definitely has been below.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not here to say don't believe the hype. I'm not trying to do the Flavor Flav act right here. But if you guys know Public Enemy, it's a dated reference. But
Yeah, boy.
exactly right. But what I am saying is be extremely skeptical right now. My take on it has been that this is a psyop to get people to buy stuff because it has been such a flat or below expectation year. That's my conspiracy tinfoil hat idea right now.
It could be, man. Who knows? I just don't think we know enough.
That's 100%. We
And,
don't
and
know.
I don't know if we're going to get the information
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I
that
agree.
that will be able to say for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't know. And anyone that says that they do know, I mean, I can speculate. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So can everyone else. But speculation is one thing. You say, hey, I'm speculating, but I don't think people should say, hey, this is 100% the reason why.
Yeah, exactly. And even with my source, the person that says, hey, I'm in the factory, what they're saying is not fitting what I'm seeing. We have no internal communications about us canceling any type of commercial sales or anything like that. We've actually discussed this in our team meetings, and the information that has been put out in our team meetings has been, we don't know where this is coming from, but even still, he may not even be at a level within the company to be able to legitimately say anything, right? I don't see any press statement from Winchester. We don't see any statements from the DoD on, hey, this is the policy that we're going to do. There's no information to put out there. So for us to just to say automatically, oh, they're doing it to withhold ammo because of whatever conflict going on around the world, just I'm not buying it. So yeah.
So that brings me to my next question for you. I want to get your reading on this. I've seen stuff where people put out certain things. I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but there's a couple people that put out certain things that are either just 100% wrong or 100% exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion on those people? Do you think they're doing it for clicks? Do you think they're doing it for, just misinformed? Do you think?
I think that there is such a desire to be first to talk about something.
Yeah, they're not going to be me.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I bet no one in the chat room, or very few people in the chat room, know that the United States government has just banned all exports of firearms. First time in history.
Yeah, we know. I did videos on it. I did a video. Okay. I dropped a video at midnight the night it happened, and I have an article over at ammoland.com about it.
All right, good plug there.
Yeah. Also, do you know, in the same thing, that the Department of Commerce is reevaluating their relationship with SHOT Show?
Really?
Yeah. That got lost in the mixture there.
It's funny. It's like, a neighbor called me up yesterday and told me about that. I'm like, what?
So what would that mean for SHOT Show?
Department of Commerce does a lot of different things with SHOT Show, especially with people coming in from out of the country to attend SHOT Show or to exhibit at SHOT Show.
So it's a big global event.
Mm-hmm. So it would cut
for manufacturers
on people coming in from out of the country, manufacturers from coming in from out of the country to display there, or people from other countries coming to.
So does Department of Commerce get people visas to come in the country for SHOT Show? Is that what it is?
It used to be State Department. Now it's basically handled by Department of Commerce. They also help out a lot with different like promotion to different places and stuff like that about SHOT Show.
So in other words, COVID didn't kill SHOT Show, so the Department of Commerce will?
Yeah, the government's going to kill everything, pretty much.
Yeah, Department of Commerce has been involved in SHOT Show for decades.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But back to your question, I think, we are in such a we have adapted our brains as human beings over the last, I would say, probably two decades to 25 years for a 24-hour news cycle. So everybody's trying to get in front of the next person on trying to get the next big thing out there. So they may be trying to I don't know, one up somebody. They may just have different or bad intel. It happens all the time. We see it with mainstream media. They put out bad information all the time. Like, I don't know, a certain somebody who, just so happened to, themselves, and it turns out that there was 2 in the head, and then they had to change that information, so yeah, it's yeah. I'm being very
as a YouTuber, you're very good at not talking about conspiracies.
I've had a lot of practice. But uh, at the end of the day, the people that I know, the people that I go to listen to, I don't think that they intend to do that. I don't think that there is any need for them to do that, because those individuals have a pretty big following. For there's no reason to do that. Now, people at my size, I just surpassed 40,000 subscribers, and thanks everybody. Yeah, thanks for everybody's journey along the way here. But um, man, if someone like myself was coming out and just regurgitating every conspiracy theory that I heard, then yeah, I would say that is purely for clickbait. That is purely for getting into the algorithm to get their channel out there more, to get more ad revenue and stuff like that. That's all that is. It's just a game at that point. But individuals, and I'm going to name names here, right? So I'm going to name names that I personally trust. So Jared with Guns and Gadgets, Mike with Mr. Guns and Gear, the Arms Scholar, the VSO channel, Curtis. Those are, just off the top of my head, those are the first 4 people that I would run to or send people to when it comes to getting good information, so.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that you mentioned, Jared from Guns and Gadgets. One thing I do like about him is if he gets something wrong, he corrects it.
Yes, 100%. Yes, that's why I'm not as harsh on him as I would be, say, I'm not going to say anybody else's name, but
Oh, that's only going to do the fun part.
Oh no, okay. I'm going to say this.
We'll mute it. You could just
no. I'm going to say this. I have had a very. I used to listen and watch this individual's videos religiously, and then all of a sudden I started to notice a trend, and I started to notice how things were starting to devolve. And the Yankee Marshal is one dude that just rubs me wrong
everything wrong. He gets everything wrong, and he doesn't like.
And he doesn't own it.
He's king of clickbait.
He did a video.
I'll tell you what.
Let me just say this. He did a video because it's a friend of mine, and he was talking about how Eric Pratt flies around on private jets, which is absolutely bonkers. Eric Pratt went down to Florida, and he was looking at a coach ticket, and he's like, "Wow, this is kind of expensive." Then he did the math and said, "If I drive my minivan down to Florida, it would be cheaper." So he drove his minivan down to Florida. And GOA, I can tell you, we don't spend money like he was claiming. Ask Rich. Rich would tell you.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? It was one of the Iraq veterans. I'm like, oh, Crump, you got a GOA paid for your room. I'm like, you got a spare bed? He's like, no. Who is it? Jordan was in it.
Yeah.
It's like another GOA guy. It's like they put two GOA guys to a room. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. And, look, he's been around a lot longer than I have. And, I kind of looked up to him as a very, very young YouTuber. But the moment that he started making accusations about other YouTubers and
that's all the clickbait.
Exactly.
That's what Yankee Marshall. All right. So I actually had a personal beef with Yankee Marshall, and it was the subject of one of his videos or so. So I think Yankee Marshall is a tremendous asshole. But when it comes down to being a good guy, he does do the right thing. So it's like Babyface P had I know there's multiple instances of this. Like Babyface P had a dog that, needed surgery, and he was doing a GoFundMe. Yankee Marshall pimped it. So I think where he can be like a tremendous jerk, I think he does do the right thing.
My question, and no accusation here or anything, but my question first would be, did Yankee Marshall make a contribution to it?
I don't know. I'd ask Patrick. Maybe he would know.
If he did, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's great. Hey, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the skinny mustache dude over in Germany in the 1930s, he built this thing called the Autobahn, which ended up being the predecessor to the interstate system here in the
And
United States.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, and that's been a great accomplishment not only for Germany but also the United States as well. But that doesn't make that guy a good dude, right?
Yeah.
So if the Yankee Marshal if Yankee Marshal did contribute to that, I say that is
Yeah.
outstanding, leading by example. That's great. But if he just pimped out someone else's um, GoFundMe, hey, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool too. But hey, why don't you lead by example? That's just that's something I pulled from the military. That's what I tried to do, and I don't know. So
Yeah, I have nothing personally against them. It's just when you make an accusation like that, that's totally baseless. It kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I think a lot of what he's done is for entertainment and clickbait. That, and if that's the path you're going, not my path. Not. I don't know. I think what you say has merit. I agree with you. I don't know.
I've bumped into him at SHOT Show. I haven't talked to him, but I stay away. I'm afraid that if I get too close, I'll get something I don't want to. Something I can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? So, but can I say something real quick to some people in the chat that I see?
100%.
I want to say, hey, Gizzard Gary, I see you in there. Made in Kansas, love you. Ghost Tactical's in there, man.
Ghost! I didn't see Ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost is in there. I love him as well. There he is. And then I also saw that someone said that they were sitting in a tree stand listening to this.
Yeah, my neighbor.
Oh, outstanding. I was in a tree stand last night and got a shot on a doe at 30 yards at, I think, 4 minutes to end of shooting light. And I missed her rather. It was a doe. I think she ducked under my arrow. It was pretty dark. I was trying to squeeze one in before shooting light was over, but so good luck to you out in the stand. Hope you get something, because I don't know about where you're hunting right now.
You said he's in South Carolina, I think.
Oh, okay. So I can tell you right now in Kansas, this is the primo time to be in a deer stand. I had planned on being in a deer stand tonight, but I gave that up to be on this show with you guys. So,
cool.
Yeah, I was in the stand, like I said last night. Saw a lot of activity. So I'm just really excited about hunting right now.
I bet. Yeah, he says South Carolina. Yeah, he's. It's funny. There's two guys I've met because we all followed Hank Strange, and two of the guys are local in my town here. One is Boom Outdoors, the other is Chris Illog, and like Boom Outdoors actually lives like a couple of blocks away from me.
I want to do a shout out to Ghost Tactical. If you are a Patreon of Ghost Tactical, he is shutting down his Patreon and moving everything to YouTube. So if you're a Patreon of Ghost Tactical, you might want to consider going over to YouTube and becoming a member of his channel. I'm going to do that probably tonight or tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know people were going that way. I thought everybody was going the other way.
I actually did that last year. I said goodbye to Patreon. I would say probably last summer. I don't
know the last time I logged into my Patreon, and I've never even taken a withdrawal from it.
Yeah, I just felt that I wasn't providing enough extra content for people, and I really felt bad for taking their money. But now I have the opportunity to do videos just real quick, like almost like shorts, or even just full up videos on my phone saying, hey, look, this is what we're looking at, this is what we're working on, here's some stuff from the range, and just send that over to my members.
And I hate to say it, I've done exclusive member content on my YouTube channel. Doesn't go so well. I don't get so much traction.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that I have 2 members, and I know both of them personally, so I appreciate them. But it's there. So if people want to jump on board, that's
Like
great.
community posts seem to get more traction than members only content. And I hate saying members only that way, but meaning content for members.
Right, not OnlyFans or what?
Or
What?
yes, what's OnlyFans?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I get it. But also, so Crump and I and Dark do a 10 p.m. tonight, 10 p.m. on Mondays. We do a podcast called Uncensored because just like you started talking about, there's crap we can't say on YouTube that will get us a 1 week vacation.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
has.
I don't know about you guys. Well, my content's a little bit probably a little bit different than your guys's. I ended up over the last 2 weeks, I've ended up with 2 copyright strikes for copyright free music that I've been using in my videos.
All right, so that's a tough river to navigate.
Yeah.
Because
that's actually happened to me. We had this copyright free music, and I would fight it, and I won it, and then so I won that, and then another freaking company with the same exact contact information copyright claimed it again.
So
I've actually downloaded copyright free music from YouTube and then have had issues with it.
Yeah. So this is stuff that you go to the artist's actual YouTube page, and it says in the title of the video from the artist, copyright free, right? And I've disputed it, and they're like, nope, they still say they have a claim. So then I forward them the link, and then the first one just so happened just to disappear, and the second one is still hanging out there. Should be off like in the next day or two. But
well, copyright claims are the least of your burden because you do a revenue split with them. And I'm looking at your view count. Your view counts are good, so you got to be doing decent on your monthly earnings. So yeah, if you start getting copyright strikes, that's going to cut into your earnings.
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
One of the videos wasn't even making any money because it was limited. So there's jokes on them.
Right,
So,
right.
but the second one was fully monetized, and like I said, it's going to. I should win it because it's the exact same. It's the exact same claim. It's the exact same music from the same people, and so actually, I'm going to see if I can see if it's still up and going. But yeah. Anyway, that's
that happened. It's annoying. The YouTube's copyright system is totally broken.
Everything with YouTube's broken.
One of them, I went to the actual artist. I was like, "Do you know who these guys are?" And he was like, "I have no idea."
So the company that is supposedly representing the artist that is putting the claim against me, they go around and find all of these artists and that don't have any type of representation, and then they try to pull the monetization to that artist from people that have used their music,
with them getting a cut.
Exactly. That's great. Then you need to take copyright free out of the title of the videos that you guys are putting out.
So I've had copyright issues where it's copyrighted not in the US but other countries, and it's like whatever.
I'm like,
so
okay,
the
whatever.
copyright. I'm ready to hire some high school kids to just get on a synth and make me some music.
Well, the guy that I went to, he said that he's been hearing a lot of people that this company, and he's actually reached out to YouTube themselves and said, "Hey, this guy's no relation to me. We have no idea why they're copying." It was like Ben Sounds is his name. So,
I mean, so what a scam, right? You could just say, no, I represent them. Give me money.
Yeah, well, basically that's what happened to him. So he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, I've been to YouTube and I've told them that they have no relation to me.
That's why I like using Carl Casey. He does White Bat music is his handle on YouTube, and his is 100% copyright free. He listed everything in there, and I go directly to him to pull the music that I use, and it's all 80 synth. So I'm using that music for my
Okay, I'm
podcast,
looking
and
at that now.
yeah, using it for a lot of my videos, especially my AK videos that have been really popular. I always use it, and I've picked him up from Clayco 47. So thanks to Clay. I know he's not watching, but that's okay.
Yeah, my daughter played flute. My daughter went to magnet school for the performing arts. I'm ready to just like hire them and have them make me music. 'Cause
Nice.
the whole music thing. So Hank Strange actually had he was shooting in his backyard. It's a video just of him shooting in his backyard. He had somebody copyright claim the sound of the bullet shots.
I've had a claim against it because the cadence of me shooting was the beat to a music. I kid you not. I'm just like, there's no music. What are you guys talking about?
Well, I somebody copyright claimed Chopin.
Yeah, that's fair use. Yeah, there's no you can't.
And it was like, and it was like from it was from a show over in Europe that was like, oh yeah, it was like, it was in, where was it? Venice. It was like the Venice Orchestra. So they don't copyright anything. It's like state run, and they allow anyone to use their stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're like, well, this is named this, and it's by this guy, and it's like, no, it's by Chopin, you idiot.
But I guess that's a scam. I mean, instead of being a Nigerian prince, you just make copyright claims on everything and get the revenue, and then close
There
the
you go.
company a week later.
Then you can give the 500,000 euros to some lucky person out there.
Exactly with the broken German.
Exactly.
Crump, are you copyright claiming Dark's content all the time?
Maybe. No, I think what happens is when we go live on his channel, the music that we use at the intro is licensed.
Yes.
So
yeah, a lot of times when we do stuff, Crump and I stream on both of our channels simultaneously, and so Crump will buy me a license also, just so I'm covered. But I guess if it goes on Dark's channel, Dark gets left down the cold.
Yeah, all our music that is licensed, I buy it for me and Rich. So sorry, Dark.
So are you going to be going to SHOT Show?
Absolutely. Yep. I already signed up.
Okay.
Got my invitation to Industry Day. Hoping this week I can get my Airbnb finalized.
Oh yeah, I got to pay for my room still.
Yeah, and then obviously get the airline ticket. I will not be flying with Spirit. I will never fly with them ever again. American might actually even be up in the air too, because I flew with them last year and they lost my bag.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so I flew from Kansas City to LAX, and then from LAX to Vegas, and apparently one of two things happened. Either they didn't transfer my luggage to the new plane, or they needed me to go out security, pick up my luggage, and then recheck it, I think is what they were wanting me to do. But yeah, I was like, why would I do that? It's a connecting flight.
Right.
So
there's no reason to go through security.
If you ever fly through Japan, they make you take all your bags and you have to go out of security and come back in.
Yep. I flew through Japan just before 4th of July on my trip out to Singapore, which was a very interesting trip. But I will say, though, they did have my luggage to me within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, which is nice. But number one, I had no hygiene products because everything was in my check bag.
Yeah, I always carry that stuff in my carry-on.
Yep, that was a mistake. I learned from that one.
So if you do lose your bag, they'll give you a kit So
I didn't know
if you go to the baggage check, I had that in Vegas.
Okay.
So my last trip. So cool thing is they lost my bag didn't make it onto the next plane, and there's a longer story to that, but I'll make it short. I went to baggage claim to, I guess it was Southwest, and I say, hey, my bag is missing. The flight was delayed. I missed my ride. They gave me a taxi voucher. They gave me, like a little kit with toothpaste, deodorant, travel toothbrush, whatever, a little overnight kit. And because I didn't have my bag delivered, I came back next day and picked it up. They gave me like an $85 travel voucher.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice,
That's nice.
nice. All right, guys. Well, we have been on for over an hour, and I have some stuff to do before we do our next podcast.
Yeah, I've actually, again, I'm so Midwestern. I didn't feel like saying I had a hard stop at 5, so I'm 5 minutes late on picking up the kids. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, you get going. Tell everyone where they can find you.
hey, you guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and then here pretty soon podcasting under Live, Laugh, LARP. So check that out. By the end of the week or next week, you should be able to see everything. But we're launching on the 1st November. So appreciate all the support.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can follow Flying Rich at flyingrich.com, Flying Rich official _official on Instagram, Flying Rich and Flying Rich Firearms. Follow me at John Crump News, John Crump Live, and check my writing at MLM. With that, we are out of here. See you guys